Right, hello everyone, and sorry to interrupt this the program that you're about to watch or the video, but the time has come for me to sort out the subscriber giveaway that's been going on for last sort of 3 or 4 weeks, certainly since I've been playing Chapter 2 of Arkham Horror. The requisite was to make a comment on the video, and however many comments you made, your name would be put into a spinny wheel and I'll be picking you out to win one of 2 prizes, which is the Arkham Horror standalone scenario film fatale and also a copy of the Chapter 2 core set. So all of the names from across all 3 videos are put into this, and we're now going to spin the wheel. Now, there is no easy way, or there's no direct way on YouTube, strange enough, but for me to directly contact people. You can't send direct messages or anything like that. So I would ask the 2 winners that win. There's my email address there, tinderlostgaming@gmail.com. Once you spot that you've won, then please drop me your postal details that you want me to send the prize to, and I will get it out into the post to you as promised. So drop me a line with a post office box or whatever, private email. Obviously nothing done online, and we'll keep it all hush hush in regards to confidentiality. But I'll get the prizes out to you as soon as I get your address. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to click on. I'm looking at 2 screens here because I've got the wheel over here, which you can see up here. We are going to click in. Start off with, we're going to go for the winner of Film Fatale. So best of luck, everyone. Oh, there we go. Film Fatale has been won by Damien Metcalf, 1829. So Damien, give me a shout, drop me an email at tinderlostgaming@gmail.com, and we'll sort your prize out for you, buddy. Okay, next one. Now, Tom is one of my very loyal viewers and has made the point that he was only after Film Fatale. He doesn't need Chapter 2, so if Tom's name comes up, we will rerun it. But here we go. This is the big one, so best of luck. Chapter 2 core box is going to Simeon Logic. Well done, Simeon Logic. You have won a Chapter 2 core set. So as said, drop me a message, an email to the email on the screen there, tinderlostgaming@gmail.com, with the postal details, and I'll get it out to you. But thank you everybody for taking part. Thanks for all the comments. Hopefully this is the first of many subscriber giveaways, and I will thank you all again, and I'll call it there. So cheers. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tinderlost Gaming, and welcome to my playthrough, my legacy playthrough of the Brethren of Ash campaign, the first sort of campaign for Chapter 2 of Arkham Horror, the living card game. This playthrough, as is sort of on the tin, is a legacy playthrough. So I'm taking Dexter Drake and Joe Diamond, both who are new investigators in Chapter 2, but I'm taking their old legacy versions with old legacy decks through this new campaign just to see how they get on. I have played through with Dexter Drake and Joe Diamond Chapter 2 in my first playthrough of Brethren of Ash, and the link is in the channel. You can go and find that as a playthrough. But we are now playing Scenario 2, Smoke and Mirrors. So first things first, as ever with Arkham Horror, playing a campaign, we've got some upgrades for our characters because they managed to get a mighty 8 XP from the first scenario. So how have I spent that? Let's get across and have a look. Okay, here we are at Arkham DB. Upgraded my decks with the 8 experience spent. And with Dexter Drake, it was fairly straightforward, to be honest. Certainly a big chunk of it was fairly straightforward. I've upgraded Shriveling level 1 to Shriveling level 3 at 3 XP. The difference is I get +2 to my willpower. I would have liked to have gone to the +2 damage, but I didn't want to sink all of my XP into one thing. So it's nice little upgrade, +2 willpower, but it's still dealing +1 damage. The other thing I've upgraded, and I've obviously taken out 2 short copies of the original Shriveling for that. I've taken out 2 copies of Scroll of Secrets. Didn't really come into much use. It was an asset that I could play to do Dexter's shenanigans. But what I put in instead is 1 cost or 1 XP cost, Brand of Cthulhu, however you say that. It's a spell, costs 2. It's got 6 charges on it. It's a fight, and I can use my willpower instead of my fight ability. I get +1 skill value. Here's the important bit though. If you succeed, spend 1 or 2 charges. Instead of its standard damage, this attack deals 1 damage for each charge spent. So if you succeed by 0, lose 1 action. So we can be doing again 2 damage to a monster. So again, another sort of it's an asset that Dexter can play and muck around with, and he'll be doing 2 damage as well. I'd like to get to that lovely 3 damage because that just one-shots a lot of the guys rather than taking 2 actions, but can't quite get there at the moment. So that's Dexter Drake. I might just move his cards. I've got his cards in front of me, so let me just move those out of the way. And then we go on to Joe Diamond. Joe Diamond, a little bit different. Let's start off with his hunch deck first of all. I've taken out 2 copies of Evidence. Again, Joe isn't really doing too much killing, so Evidence doesn't really come into play. And I've put 2 copies of Guidance in. Again, this is a bit of a clutch card. Costs 0, 1 XP. But I can choose another investigator at my location who's yet to take their turn. During their turn this round, they get +1 to each of their skills, and they may take an additional action, and it doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. Again, it's sort of a pinch card, really. I'm giving an action because it obviously does cost an action to play Guidance. It's not fast, but if we really need to for Dexter to have a real good swing at something, then Guidance can come into play. And I just think it was 1 XP. I had sort of a couple of XP to spend, so I went with Guidance to upgrade and get rid of Evidence. Yeah. Then I've taken out 2 copies of Pocket Telescope, and I've put the 1 XP Pathfinder in. During your turn, if you're not engaged with an enemy, exhaust Pathfinder to move to a connecting location. As anybody will tell you who plays Arkham, action economy is one of the key elements of this game. So not having to take an action to move is really, really strong. And then finally, an upgrade. We have taken out the 2 copies of Deduction and put in the 2 XP cost. So we're going to get an additional clue at our location. 2 additional clues if we succeed by 2 or more, and very often we might well be doing that. So to get 3 clues from 1 card, and it's got an additional intellect pip as well, very, very nice card. So there we go. There is our upgrades of Joe Diamond and Dexter Drake, and we will now get across to the table. I will go and make myself a coffee because that is the rules. And I will see you at the table in 2 seconds. Well, literally half a second for you. Probably about 5 minutes for me. Anyway, see you in a bit. Little hand to make sure the camera's working. Here we go. Right, so here we are. Don't need that card on there. It's just testing the camera. Coffee has been made. Slight crisis in the household this morning. We're out of sugar. So no sugar in my coffee this morning, so that could affect gameplay. That's my excuse. Scenario 2, Smoke and Mirrors. You follow Dr. Armitage back to his apartment. A veil of black smoke obscures the moon and stars as a warm breeze carries ash and embers through the familiar streets. I've had my suspicions that something foul was afoot. Several students have disappeared in the last few weeks, the head librarian tells you. All of them begin to exhibit strange behaviours after attending a supposedly exclusive meeting off campus not long ago. They complained of a horrible incessant whispers and a strange bruise that suddenly appeared on their skin, and then they vanished. Fearing the worst, you ask him about your friend. They insisted we meet earlier today, he replies. They told me that an organisation calling themselves the Brethren of Ash have been inviting students and vulnerable citizens to these strange assemblies. Your friend listed a number of individuals who attended, although it's unclear whether they were prospective recruits or loyal adherents. Before they left, your friend spoke of another meeting tonight, a gathering of all the faithful. I don't know why, but the thought of it fills me with an unutterable dread. And now your friend is gone, he says dourly. You resolve to interrogate the list of suspects and then meet at Velma's Diner in Easttown before midnight. The head librarian suggested you use a light touch rather than a more heavy-handed approach, which could alert the cabal. However, you worry you will not have any other choice. Here we go then. So it says add 2 cultist tokens to the chaos bag for the remainder of the campaign. I've already done that. They're nicely tucked away, never to be seen in the chaos bag. We've gathered all of our encounter cards. I won't go through the sets, but there's 9 of them. Choose one of the downtown locations and one of the 2 uptown locations at random, which is what I've already done. Put them into play. Remove all other versions of downtown and uptown from the game. Put Northside, Easttown, Merchant District, Waterfront District, Southside and French Hill locations into play as per the diagram, which is what I've done. Gather each card in the People of Arkham Encounter deck set. Choose one of them at random and set it aside out of play without looking at it. Shuffle each remaining card from the set along with the Servant of Flame enemy and deal 1 face down 2. Right, let's do this on camera. So here's our people. There's our Servant of Flame. We will turn them over. We'll shuffle them as best as we can, given there's only a few of them. And we'll do a cat weasel cut. And we'll take that one out. And then we'll put the Servant of Flame in. And we will do the same thing. Try not to look. I've got no idea, but there we go. No shenanigans. Right, so one goes in north side. So that goes there. North side, downtown next to it. Downtown, south side. Down here. French Hill in the corner. Uptown. Oh, 3 along the bottom then. French Hill, yeah. 3 along the bottom. Uptown. And Waterfront District, 1 over there. Done. Check your campaign log. If Mystical Alternative Events, but sorry, again, very early, bang on 9 o'clock here in the UK, 9 a.m. Miskatonic University burned, which it didn't. If the investigators saved Miskatonic University, put Miskatonic University Quiet Campus into play, remove the other one. Already done that, that's there. Place 1 doom on the agenda. Oh, okay, starting off strong. 1 doom on the agenda. Each investigator begins play at the Miskatonic University. Place 1 doom on the agenda for each investigator in the game. Ugh, what? So 3 of 10. already. Let's just move it up a little bit so we can fit 10 in there when we need to. There we go. If an investigator is the bearer of Dr. Henry Armitage's story asset, search their deck for him, put him into play. Already done that. He does not take up an ally slot. Search each copy of the Mark of Elakos weakness aside, set it out of play. Done. Shuffle the remaining encounter decks. Encounter cards to create the encounter deck. You're now ready to begin play. Strategic tip. Time is short. During this scenario, investigators may either defeat suspects or trigger their codex entries to interview them. See the codex on page 7. How you choose to approach this scenario with violence or interrogation will have an effect on the challenges you face later in this campaign. Also remember that resigning is not losing. You may choose to abandon your search at any time. Well, noted. Absolutely noted. Smoke and Mirrors scenario card. Let's have a little look at that, see what that's doing. We are playing on standard. So the skull is -X, where X is the total number of elite enemies in the victory display and under the act. The cultist now in play is -1. If this is a test targeting an elite enemy, reveal another token. I hate those ones. The tablet is -3. If you fail, place one of your clues on your location. Not a fan of that either. And the elder thing is -1 for each clue you control. Ooh, Joe Diamond could have problems there. That's the scenario card. Let's have a look. There's one act. Always a worry. Augurs of Flame. You must find the whereabouts of the suspects on your friends list. Spend 4 clues, so 2 clues per investigator. As a group, draw the face down card beneath your location. Objective. If there are a total of 6 elite enemies in the victory display and or under this act, advance. Hint. Either defeat the suspects by force or resolve their codex entries to generate leads for your investigation. Well, we'll see what happens there. So just the one agenda, one act. And then we've got agenda 1A, Arkham Alive. An unnatural haze fills the streets of Arkham. Some of the locals say the hills west of Arkham are burning. Despite the cool autumn weather, the city streets feel unnaturally warm as evening falls. Action resign. You return to compare notes with Dr. Armitage on your friend's whereabouts. And it's got 10 on it. Okay. Right, final bit is the non-shenanigans element. So we're going to give everything a shuffle up. Now, I don't think I'm going to get 6. This is a particularly hard scenario, if memory serves me correctly. I've only ever played it once before. Oops, a daisy. I think I got 2. So anything above 2, for me, we're into resignation territory. 3 or 4 would be nice. 5 would be absolutely, out of this world. And 6, I think, is pretty much, for a player of my skill, is probably for the birds. First contractual cat weasel cut. We're going to do the same with Dexter. These have had a good shuffle off screen, but I always do one. As regular visitors and regular viewers will know, this is a standard approach. The shenanigans clause, as I like to call it. And also the usual disclaimer from myself. I'm in my bat cave playing for fun. I'm recording. I'm playing two-handed. There will be mistakes. I will miss stuff. I will kill enemies when I'm not supposed to kill them. It's not done intentionally. It's just I'm a 50-plus-year-old man, and I'm trying to think of too many things in one go. And we'll shuffle up Joe's. I've managed to get Joe's name correct for most of these scenarios so far. So Tom, little shout out to yourself. Hopefully that's that you're noting the fact that I'm getting Joe's name correct. Oh dear. And then a little cat weasel cut for the hunch deck. I'm bound to forget that thing. All right. A little shuffle up. A little Beveragino. And we are ready to go. Let's go with Dexter. Drawing his 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's he looking for? Well, he's looking for killy stuff, really. I mean, that's what he's about. Killy stuff would be good. Very technical term. So we've got an Azure Flame. That's killy. Chronophobia can go. We'll draw another card. Oh, we've got a Uncage the Soul. We've got a Familiar Spirit. We've got a Shriveling. And we've got an Arcane Initiate. Arcane Initiate I don't need. We've got our better Shriveling. So I don't necessarily think we need Azure Flame at the moment. So Shriveling will be paid by Uncaged the Soul. And I think I'll drop the other 2. So I'm going to draw, cards are stuck, 2 more. We're going to get, oh, it really wants me to have Azure Flame. And we've got a Deny Existence. Okay. That's not too bad. That is not too bad. Cat weasel cut. Alrighty. We are good to go. Joe Diamond. He's looking for investigating stuff. Fingerprint kit now will be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 4 clues to start to start pulling people from underneath. So we've got a Vicious Blow, don't need that. We've got a, oh, there we go. There's the fingerprint kit. We've also got a Pathfinder and 2 Eurekas. I don't think I need the Eurekas yet. Or do I? That could be quite useful with a couple of investigates. Drawing cards, actually, thinking about it. We've got a fingerprint kit. Can't afford to play Pathfinder. We don't need Vicious Blow, so we'll ditch Vicious Blow and we'll get a Field Work. Field Work and Pathfinder is very nice. A lot of expensive stuff, and this is where I wish I'd have put a couple of emergency caches into the deck. Maybe we'll get the upgrades. Maybe we'll get the upgrades. Okay. All the very best. Here we go. Let's flip over Miskatonic University. 2 Shroud. Obviously, we've got the connectors in place here. There's certain routes around the board. It comes in with 2 clues. And it's a delightful, juicy Shroud 2. So let's get Dexter off the board and running. We will play Uncaged Assault as my first action. We will then pay Shriveling for 0. Comes in with 4 charges. Oh, come on. 4. Second action. What have I got? No, it's 5. That was on 3 for some reason. I've not spent any. No, I haven't. First action, yeah, it's okay. I'm going to spend 1 for a familiar spirit. And actually, I think I'm gonna. That's my second action. Third action is to spend 3, so I'm down to 1 for Azure Flame. Let's get this ball rolling. Let's get this ball rolling. Comes in with 4 charges. Use those ones. Spread them out a little bit. No fingernails. There we go. That's pretty much it for Dexter. Dexter's off and running. He's off to the races. Don't get too confident. Don't get too confident. Right. Joe Diamond. He is going to, first action, he's going to spurge 4 down to 1 for a fingerprint kit. Let's get that bad boy up and running as well. Comes in with 3 supplies. I'm going to try and keep these 2 together. I'm not going to get greedy, I think. Again, a bit more of a setup. Second action, I'm going to gain a resource up to 2. And then my third action, I'm going to spend those 2 on field work. Could have got the 2 clues, but I'm sort of prepping. That's it for the investigation phase. And I've completely and utterly, first round, forgotten Joe's hunch deck, which was going to be working a hunch. Actually, I've not finished his. I don't have the money to spend for it anyway. Oh no, -0. I'm going to do that. Sorry. I caught it just at the tail end. I'll spend the 2 to get the clue. Oh dear, oh dear. Called it right at the start. Okay. That is definitely it for Joe. We're in the enemy phase. There's no enemies in play. We go to the upkeep phase. We don't need to shuffle the hunch deck because we've not put anything back into it. We'll flip over. We'll get our actions back. Dexter will gain a resource up to 2 and he'll draw a card and he's going to get showmanship. Nice. Very nice. Don't forget I've got deny existence as well. Joe will go up to 1 resource and he'll draw a card and he will get deduction. Deduction. Didn't play the Eureka. I know I didn't do it. I didn't do a thing. Okay. Okay. Thinking too far ahead. Thinking too far ahead. Right, we go to the Mythos phase. We put 1 doom on the agenda. 4 of 10. And we're now into the encounter phase, or the Mythos phase for the encounter card. And Dexter is going to get... He gets a rogue gangster. 3 fight, 3 health, 3 to evade, hunter, prey, retaliate. After rogue, gangster engages you, lose 1 resource. If you can't, the enemy attacks you. I can't. Actually, I am going to deny existence it. Deny existence says play 0 cost. Play when an encounter card or enemy attack would cause you to do one of the following. Discard cards from your hand, lose resources, lose actions, take damage, or take horror. He's going to make me lose a resource. So I'm playing Deny Existence for 0. Rogue Gangster, your existence is denied. Then we draw the card for Joe Diamond, and he's getting, oh my goodness, a bat horror. 3 fight, 4 health, 4 to evade, elusive, hunter, and all the shenanigans. He comes engaged with Joe. Not played that, so let's put those there. That's it. Then we go to the investigation phase. Right, I think it's for Dexter to go first. First action, going to pay 1 for showmanship. That's my first action. Second action is to engage the bat horror. And the third action is to Azure Flame it. So I am 5, 6, 6 for that. 6 against 3. I've got no cards to chuck in against it, so we're going 6 against 3. How's the chaos bag today? -1 for each clue you control. None. So that does 2 damage to the bat. 2 damage to the bat. I'll put those there for a second because it's got elusive. It's going to fly off, and it's going to fly off and exhaust, and it's going to fly to the merchant district. Goes to a connecting location. Also, whippoorwills are in this encounter. Those are going to die. I'm not ignoring those like I did last time. Those are going to die. That's it for Dexter. Dexter's done what Dexter does. Although he's not got a movement to go there. Right. Joe Diamond. There's no point in using a deduction or a fingerprint kit on this because it's only got 1 clue. So I am going to investigate at base. So that's 2. I'm 4. I will play a Eureka to make me 5 versus 2. 5 versus 2. -3. We just about do it. So we get the clue. Eureka pops. So we search the top 3 cards of our deck and then we'll draw it. And I've forgotten this bloody card yet again. And it's working a hunch. Oh, that's annoying. My fault. I'm not going to backtrack on that now, but we do draw the top 3 cards. We've got Art Student, the Colts, and a Vicious Blow. I'm going to take the Art Student. Second action is going to move down. Dexter's going to have to catch up with him to Uptown. Let's go this way. I went up last time. Let's go down this time. Let's go up to Uptown. Ugh. Okay, that's 3 shroud, 4 clues on it. Oh, okay. Uptown's got search the top 9 cards of your deck for a spell or a ritual asset. Add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. If no card was added this way, draw a card. That's nice. My third action from Joe. Oh, I haven't got enough. My third action from Joe. Will exhaust field work. Play the deck, MB. Play the deck. It's got 1 clue on it, and you're going to get +2 skill value for the next skill test you perform. I will investigate, not using the fingerprint kit, so I'm now 4, 5, 6. I will play a Eureka for 7. And I will play a deduction for 8, 9. So, let's just check this. 4 from the book, 2 from field work is 6, 7 from Eureka, 8, 9 from deduction against 3. 9 against 3. 0. We absolutely smash it. So, first of all, with deduction, we discover 2 additional clues. So we're going to get 3 clues off of that. We get 1 plus the 2 additional. One, 2, 3. So that's deduction done with. Then we've got a Eureka. We were successful. We'll draw the top 3 cards. We've got to take the initiative. We've got a Grizzly Totem. And we've got to take the initiative. Got a lot of expensive stuff, so I think I'm going to take the initiative. I would like the Grizzly Totem, but we're not. Just not got the resources at the moment. I've got other cards I want to play. I've got other cards I want to play. Eureka has gone. And for a fast action, or for fast, so no action, and at a -2, I'll play it during my turn. For work and a hunch, I'll discover a clue. And I'll have all 4 of those clues off there. Boom. I'm not going to spend them just yet. I'm not going to spend them just yet. Whew. We go to the enemy phase. Nothing is ready, so we don't need to worry about that. He will ready in a second. No other enemies in play. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. Batman readies up. We gain our actions back. Dexter gets a resource up to 2. He draws a card, which is Crystal Pendulum. Nice. Joe Diamond's going to go to 2 resources. He's going to draw a card. He's going to get a vicious blow. I really need to replace those. I really need to replace those. That's it for the upkeep phase. We ready up field work. We go to the Mythos phase. We put 5 of 10 onto the agenda. Dexter's going to draw his card. He is going to get Eager for Death. Test will 2. Increase the skill difficulty by 1 for each damage on you. Got no damage on me. So that is going to be a test of 5, 6. 6 against 2. Six against 2. -2. We pass. Joe Diamond is going to get Raising Suspicions. Place 1 doom on an enemy nearest to you. If there is no doom, then we gain Surge. Okay, so Bat Horror just become a little bit of a target. 1 doom onto the Bat Horror. Investigation phase. We'll start off with Dexter, who is going to move down to continue to be with Joe. Then as a group, we'll spend 4 clues. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Down to 2. And we're going to flip this over. And we have got... Oh my God. Oh my goodness me. We got the Servant of the Flame. Elusive. He's elusive. Hunter retaliate. Force. When Servant of the Flame is defeated, do that. God. Seriously, dude. He engages with Dexter. So first action was to move. Second action was to spend the clues. That was an action. Okay. Well, this is why Shriveling's in the deck. So Third action is going to be to have a pop at the Servant of Flame using Shriveling. We are 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, seven, 8. 8 versus 4. That's all I can get to. I'm not chucking a crystal pendulum in there. 8 versus 4. -1. We do 2 damage to him, and then he's going to be an elusive, and he's going to go back to the Miskatonic University. He liked it there. He's got 2 damage on him. Well, at least we ain't got to worry about that anymore. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And that is it for Dexter. He is moved, done the thing, hit the Servant of the Flame. Joe Diamond. First action. He's going to pay 2 for Pathfinder. And then he's going to exhaust Pathfinder to move to Southside. And this is going to flip over. And this is a Shroud of 2 with 4 clues on it. Four. 2 actions at this location. Oh, Shroud of 2, 4 clues on it. 2 actions here. Investigators at this location draw a total of 3 cards, divided as they choose. Group limit once per round. For my second action, I will investigate using the fingerprint kit. I'll exhaust field work. And I'll play a take the initiative as well. Do I need to? Do I need to? So it's 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 2. Seven versus 2. Reveal the bloody thing. Guidance. Too late. Too late. I need to remember to do that at the start of the investigation phase, because if that's in play, then it's important. So we are 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven minus 2 is still a pass. We get -1 for each clue. And we succeeded with gaining an additional clue at my location. So we get 2 clues. 1, 2. Third action, investigate using the fingerprint kit. 4, 5, 6. I only get 1 to take the initiative now. So that's 4, 5, 6 versus 2. 6 versus 2. -2. We get the 2 clues. Oh, that's a problem. He's going to move down. Never mind. Joe can take it. Joe can take it. He's exhausted as well. When elusive enemies move, let me just double check that. That's important. Pretty sure I read it a little while ago. If a ready enemy with the elusive keyword attacks or is attacked, after the attack resolves, that enemy immediately disengages from all investigators, moves to a connecting location and exhausts. Cool. That's important. Okay. Now, guidance wasn't used, so this goes back into the deck and we shuffle. Enemy phase. I think that's it. I've used all 3 actions for Joe. Enemy phase. Bat Horror is going to come down and engage Joe. I think he runs off straight away as well. I think. Oh, I just had it here. Yeah, if a ready enemy with the elusive keyword attacks or is attacked, after that attack resolves, that enemy immediately disengages. So he's going to attack for 1 and 1. 1 and 1. I've got nothing to put it on, so Joe's going to take 1 damage down to 6, 1 sanity down to 5. And both of these did start with their physical trauma. So 1 and 1. And he flies off again. Oh, he has to move, if able, he has to move to a location with no investigators, because I was thinking about putting him there, but I can't. So he's going to fly back to the merchant district. Okay, upkeep phase. We ready up. Fieldwork and Pathfinder also ready. Dexter is going to gain a resource up to 3 and he's going to draw a card. He gets Storm Spirits. Joe Diamond's going to go up to 1 resource. He's going to draw an Enchanted Blade. Get our actions back. We go to the Mythos phase. We put 1 Doom on the agenda, 6 of 10. We draw an encounter card. I was thinking about doing the thing, but I'm going to do that at the start of the turn. So we're going to draw for Dexter, Aerial Pursuit. The nearest non-elite enemy moves once towards your location. If it engages with an investigator, it makes an immediate attack. Moves towards me. Moves once towards your location. Now, Dexter's obviously here. 1, 2 away from the Bat Horror. 1, 2 away from the Bat Horror. So if I move him this way, what I'm trying not to be too gamey, but it doesn't say I have to move it towards an investigator. It says towards your location. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Why would I do anything different? If it engages an investigator, it makes an immediate attack. Doesn't tell me I have to follow a route with investigators. So there we go. And Joe Diamond's going to get Downpour. Test agility 3. For each point you fail, you must either lose one action or place one of your clues at your location. Oh, that's nasty. Agility 3. I'm agility 2. And I've got nothing that can help. Each point I fail by. 2 against 3. Oh. -1. So I'm going to lose 2 clues or I'm going to lose 2 actions. I'll lose 2 clues. I'm going to lose 2 clues. I don't want to lose 2 actions. Okay. Investigation phase. First action, Dexter's going to catch up to Joe. Then as a group, we're going to spend the 4 resources, the 4 clues. 1, 2, 3, 4. To flip over this card. Sergeant Earl Monroe. 3 fight, 4 to evade, or 4 health, 3 to evade. Elusive. After this enemy is attacked or is attacked while it's ready, it moves to a connecting location. Parlay test fight 4. Decrease the difficulty of this for each damage on Sergeant Earl. And if you succeed, read Codex 4. He is engaged with Dexter. It's a fight test. It's not a fight, so I can't do an Azure Flame or anything like that. I have to test, and it's 3 against, oh no, it's 4. He doesn't get, he hasn't got retaliate or anything like that. I'm not attacking him. I'm just going to be parlaying with him. Four versus 3. 4 versus 4 with Storm of Spirits. Oh, okay, 4 versus 4. 5 versus 4. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to attempt to parlay with him for my second action. I'll chuck a Storm of Spirits in to take me to 4. Dexter, Joe will help out with a vicious blow for a fight symbol. So I'm now 5 versus 4. It's not great odds. Start of the investigation phase, I should flip that over. Five versus 4. I'm not liking it. -1. Oh, he's an elite. Got to draw another token. Come on. Come on, +1. -1. Reveal another token. Whatever. Fun. Ugh. That was fun. That was my second action. That was my third action. Move, done the action, parlay. That's it for Dexter. Joe Diamond is going to attempt to parlay with him as well. First action is to parlay. Doesn't have to be engaged with him. Just check the rule book, and it's people at your location. Oh, maybe I should have hit him first, because I decrease the difficulty of each test, but then he's going to run away. So we're just going to go 4 on. So I'm 4. I'm going to chuck the enchanted blade in to make it 5. 5 versus 4. 5 versus 4. -0. There's no enemies, elite enemies under the victory display. So we do parlay with him. So we're going to read Codex 4. At the mention of the Brethren of Ash, the police officer brandishes his nightstick and tells you that you'd best stick your nose somewhere else. You brace yourself for a fight. Heal 1 damage. Okay. Bosh, up to 7. Why am I minus? Oh, God. Place 1 resource on Sergeant Earl Monroe as a lead. If there are 2 leads on him, continue reading. Well, we'll put a snooze token on him. So he's not been attacked, so he's not running away. Second action from Joe is to gain a resource. Third action is to play the art student. Comes in, we get a clue. Let's start building those clues up again. Two or one. That's it for Joe. Now, as reading the elusive keyword, we've not attacked him, so he's not running away. He's still an enemy, though. He is still an enemy. Okay, I understand what's going to happen here. So, we've not used logical reasoning. So, we'll put that in and we'll shuffle. We go to the enemy phase. Monroe is going to hit us. He's going to hit Dexter for 1 and 1. 1 and 1. And then he's going to run away. Oh, he should have readied. He's going to run to the merchant district. No. No, he's not. He's going to run to French Hill. Why make things harder for myself? I'm going that way. These two are then going to move down. They're hot on our tail. We can stay one ahead. That would be nice. That's it for the enemy phase. Or I have taken 4 and 7. 4 and 7. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. Get our actions back. Dexter's going to 4 resources. He's drawing a card and he's getting Robes of Endless Night. Joe is going to go to 1 resource and draw Inquiring Mind. Then we go to the Mythos phase. We put 1 Doom on the addenda, 7 of 10. Dexter's going to draw a card. Downpour. Test agility 3. For each point you fail by, you either lose 1 action or place 1 of your clues on your location. I'm agility 2. Do I chuck the Robes of Endless Night in to make it? I'm going to have to make it 3 versus 3 just to try and mitigate the issue. 3 versus 3. -4. God. I can't place any clues, so Dexter is going to lose all of his actions this turn. Wow. Wowzers. That was harsh. That was harsh. That was harsh. Third time. Okay. Here's what it is. Dexter, Joe is going to draw a Flash Flood. Attach it to your location. It gets +4 shroud. Okay. Oh, God. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Oh, dear. That was a harsh Mythos phase. We go to the investigation phase. Poor old Dexter's going to get pummeled. He is going to get pummeled for 3 and 3. Can't move him. Henry, you could be in for a world of hurt here, buddy. But it is what it is. We'll worry about that in a minute. What's Joe doing? Well, he's not going to bother to get that clue. I'm 4. What's this, shroud? So it's shroud 2. Shroud 6 at the moment. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 versus 6 is not great odds. So we're going to leave that clue for the time being, I think. So we're going to exhaust a couple of things here. We're going to exhaust Pathfinder. So I'm not engaged with enemy. To move here. And we're now moving to Sergeant Monroe engages us as we move there. And we flip over French Hill. Shroud of 4. And it's got 2 clues per investigator on it. We're also going to exhaust field work to give us +2 to the next skill test we perform. I really want to pass this. So we're going to parlay with Sergeant Earl Monroe with 4, 5, 6 because of field work, and we'll chuck in an inquiring mind to make us 9. We'll flip over the flipping card. Can't do that because that wasn't our first action, scene of the crime. Anyway, inquiring mind. So we're 3, 7, 8, 9. 9 against 4. He's got no damage on him. 9 against 4. We finally get it. +1. And we may move an insight event from our discard pile to the bottom of our hunch pile. We'll do that. We will move a working a hunch to the bottom. And we do manage to parlay again with Sergeant Earl Monroe. Codex 4. Eventually, Monroe relents. All right, the officer spits some blood as he nurses a bruised cheek. There were a few of them who came to me after we logged the 3rd disappearance. They insisted the folks who disappeared did so willingly. When I said I still wasn't convinced, they took me to one of their meetings out near the docks. There was something real screwy about the whole affair. Something wrong with their eyes, like they were hypnotised or something. The officer looks away in regret. They paid me to keep quiet. I'm not proud of it. Don't tell anybody about this. I promise I'll keep on the straight and narrow from now on. You have successfully interrogated this suspect. Place Sergeant Earl Monroe beneath the deck. Bosh. Sergeant Earl is underneath the deck. And that was an action to do that. We were there for free. So we used 1 action so far. 4. 4 Shroud. Got no cards to play. I would be going for 5 against 4, which is not great odds. Second action, I need some cards. I'm going to draw a card. We get another fingerprint kit. Third action, going to draw a card. Grizzly Totem. Okay. Okay, that's it for the investigation phase. The enemy phase. Bat Horror and Servant of the Flame are going to both move in, attack Dexter for 2, 3 and 3. It's 1, 2 and 2 there, 1 and 1 there. And then they're going to run away again. So poor old Dr. Henry Armitage is dead. He'll take all 3, 3 and 3. That does lose me a willpower, which is really annoying. That should be cycled back in. And we shuffle because we didn't take any cards from it. Upkeep phase. We ready up. Ready up. We get our actions back. Dexter's going to go to 5 resources. He's going to draw a card and he gets Robes of Endless Night. Joe's going to gain a resource up to 2. He's going to draw a card and he's going to get Paranoia. Of course he does. He loses all of his resources. That's the end of the round. So Flash Flood goes. We started off well. All right. Okay. Actions back. We're all good. We go to the Mythos phase. We're at 8 of 10. 8 of 10. Dexter's going to draw a card. He gets Red Herring. Test Intellect 2. This test gets +2 difficulty if you control 2 or more clues. If you fail, take 1 horror and place one of your clues at location. So I'm 2. 2 against 2. I would have been 3 against 2 if Henry was still there. I can't chuck any cards in. So it's a 2 against 2. -3 if you fail, place one of your clues on your location. So we fail, we take 1 horror. Down to 6. Joe's card is going to be a Whippoorwill. It's not engaged with us, comes into French Hill. Dexter's first action is going to be to move into French Hill. Second action is going to be to engage the Whippoorwill. Third action is going to be to Azure Flame it. I am 5 against 2. 5 against 2. Five against 2. I'm going to play the crystal pendulum to make it 6 against 2. Six against 2. -1 because there's 1 elite underneath the act. Didn't need the crystal pendulum, but you can never tell. Whippoorwill goes. Joe Diamond is next. We should have exhausted these. Losing my resources was a pain. So we'll try something that's a bit silly, but it's the best way I think I can get up. So gonna do Pathfinder to move to the waterfront, exposing the waterfront. 1 shroud, 2 clues per investigator. Do I just stay there now? Yeah, I can't move back because field work won't work. I was thinking I could move back. Oh, I know I can. I could move back. So I would then be 6 against 4. Should have bloody done this. Ugh, guidance, no good. No good. Getting that hunch deck. So the choices are stay there and go 6 against 1 to get 2 clues, or back 6 against 4 to try and get 2 clues. I'm gonna need 4 clues. 2 is not enough. Oh. Forget that. My mistake. I can't even move there. So he'll move back. He'll move back to Southside, which does then answer my question. First action then is to move, first proper action is to move back to French Hill. And we're currently going 6 against 4. I'm not chucking the fingerprint kit in. I'm investigating with the fingerprint kit. Oh no, okay. 7 versus 4. So 4, exhausting field work, give us +2. 4, 5, 6, 7 against 4. That's slightly better. 7 against 4. -1 for each clue you control. I don't control any clues yet. Bosh. We discover an additional clue. So we get 2 clues. 1. I'm already on 2. 2. That was my second action. I'm going to use the action on French Hill. I'm going to discard the Grizzly Totem to place a charge on a charge or a secret. Ah, charge or a secret. This is a supply, so I don't think that does it. Don't think that does it. It's particular wording. A charge or a secret, that's a supply. Can't do it. So third action is to gain a resource. Let's start saving up for the second fingerprint kit. And that's it for Joe. We then shuffle that back in. Catweasel cut. Sorry, that was the investigation phase. We're now over onto the enemy phase. Batman and Robin are going to move across to Southside. Oh my God. Did I exhaust them? I don't think I exhausted them when they attacked. Anyway. That's it for the enemy phase. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. We ready up. Get our actions back. Dexter's going to go to 6 resources. He's going to draw an occult scraps. Occult scraps cannot be played using a play action. While occult scraps is in your hand, you get -2 willpower. While occult scraps is in play, you get -1 willpower. How do I put it into play then? Ooh. So I'm -2 willpower now. How do I get occult scraps into play? Anyway, that's for future Mark to worry about. Joe's going to get a resource up to 2. He's going to draw a card and he's going to get a mouse mask. Okay. Okay. We go to the Mythos phase. We would put a Doom on the agenda, which would take it to 9. 10, because Bat Horror's got a Doom on it, so it's going to flip. Yeah. 10 Horror. 10 Doom gone. An itch you've done your best to ignore becomes unbearable. Pulling back your sleeve reveals a patch of peeling grey skin. Gingerly, you scratch the dead skin to reveal a smooth scar, almost as though you were branded. The scar resembles a hand with an unblinking eye inset into it. Touching it gives you a warm, heady feeling like being drunk. One at a time, each investigator draws 1 copy of the set-aside Mark of Elokos weakness. Each investigator is now the bearer of that weakness, Add that card to that investigator's deck, ignoring deck building restrictions. It does not count towards the investigator's deck size. So Mark of Elokos is this, which is you put it into play in your threat area. When your turn ends, take 1 damage, assign that damage to an asset you control if able. Discard the Mark of Elokos. So it's going to go into Dexter's deck. Catweasel cut. And 1 is going to go into Joe's deck. And it will stay there for the remainder of the campaign. Catweasel cut. And now we're on to Emergent Evils. 8. Doom on it. Steam rises off the wet pavement as though the ground beneath it was actually burning. Action resign. Then we draw a card. Dexter's going to draw a card. He's going to get Flash Flood. +4 Shroud. So there's now 8 Shroud on French Hill. I'm stuck in a corner now, and Joe Diamond's going to get Arcane Lock. Attached to Arcane Lock, as an additional cost to enter or leave attached location, you must spend 1 action. Test will or intellect 4. If you succeed, discard Arcane Lock. Wowzers. Cold scraps. Right, I think Dexter's going to go first. I need to get rid of occult scraps out of my hand. So Dexter's got, during your turn, discard an asset you control. Play an asset with a different title from your hand, reducing its costs by 1. But which asset do I get rid of? I think I'm going to get rid of the Familiar Spirit because I've got no other spells at the moment. So that comes into, I'm not playing it, I'm replacing it. So the Familiar Spirit goes. I've only got 2 arcanes, so we're still good for that. So we're now at only -1 will rather than -2. That was my first action. Second action is going to be to move in to Southside. We've got to clear these boys off. Which basically engages the Bat Horror and the Servant of the Flame. Both now engaged with... Oh... Arcane Lock. Oh, God. Arcane lock. Cost me an additional action to move out of it. I should have turned that over at the start of the investigation phase. Do I just backtrack on that for a sec? Let's just go back for a sec. Let's go back for a sec. So my first action is to get rid of cult scraps. Let's just have a think about this. Maybe I can do that later. Okay. Still can't hit him. Oh no, he's going to engage me. So, right, first two actions is to move Dexter into Southside, as per previously described. So, Servant of the Flame is going to engage me. Bat Horror is going to engage me. Third action is to fight with the Shriveling, the Bat Horror. So I am 5, 6, 7 against it, -2. So I'm back to 5 versus, because Occult Scraps is giving me -2 willpower. So I'm 5 against 3. Five against 3. Come on, Chaos Bag. -1. Bosh. We kill it. Shriveling does +1 damage. It's had 2 health left, so Bat Horror is dead. But it does leave me exposed with the Servant of the Flame. Joe Diamond, for his first action, he's going to spend 2, which is -2, for no stone unturned. Or choose himself. He's going to search the top 6 cards of his deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, that's his bloody 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I'm looking for something. A mouse mask, a vicious blow. Pathfinder, art student, deduction. Take the initiative. I'm going to take the initiative. That was my first action, was to do that. Now, I'm going to exhaust Pathfinder to move to south side, but it does cost me an additional action to move out. So it's only one action rather than two because of Pathfinder. My third action is to engage the Servant of the Flame. Taking one for the team. Taking one for the team. Okay. That's it. The investigation phase. The enemy phase, Servant of the Flame is going to smack me for 2 and 2. 2 and 1 are going to go on the art student. So I'll only take 1 damage. One damage. And then he runs off and exhausts. And I'm going to run him to French Hill. Get the hell out of Dodge. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. That's it for the enemy phase. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. Servant of the Flame readies. Flash Flood's going to go in a minute, so I'll take that while I'm here. Arcane Lock is going to stay on it though. Servant of the Flame is going to hang out. We get our actions back. We ready up Pathfinder. Dexter's going to get 7 resources. And he's going to draw into a Brand of Cthulhu. Can't play it. Yes, I can. Still got the Familiar Spirit. I've got to play that Occult Scraps because that's a nightmare. Joe Diamond is going to get resources up to 3. He's going to draw a card and he's going to get Inquiring Mind. Nearly got enough money to pay for another fingerprint kit. That's it for the upkeep phase. We go to the Mythos phase. We put 1 Doom of 8. 1 Doom of 8. Dexter's going to draw his encounter card. He gets Crossfire, test agility 3. If you fail, investigators at your location take 1 damage. So I'm 3. I'm 2. I'm going to just do it. 3 versus 2. 3 versus 2. What do I just do it? Put it back up there so people can see it. 3 versus 2. -1. We fail. So Dexter's going to take a hit and Joe's going to take a hit. 1, 1. Joe Diamond's card. Eager for death. Test will 2. Increase this difficulty by 1 damage on you. For each damage, I've taken 3. So it's 5 against 2. 5 against 2. Five against 2. Auto fail. I'm glad I didn't play any cards with it. I take 2 horror. Down to 3. 1. 2. 3. We move to the investigation phase. We'll flip over this card at the start of it. Logical reasoning. Oh, okay. That could help. That could help very muchly. Who's going first? I think Dexter's going to go first. First of all, he's going to move because we don't want to be near that Servant of the Flame. So first action, we're going to move up to the Merchant District. I'm going to flip that over. 3 shroud, 2 clues on it. Then he's going to pay second action. He's going to pay 3 down to 4 for the Robes of Night. Robes of Endless Night. What I'm immediately going to do here is during your turn, discard an asset you control, play an asset with a different title from your hand, reducing its cost by 1. I'll remove Robes of Endless Night and I will put in an Occult Scraps. Or do I? No, let's remove the Familiar... No, we'll keep the Familiar Spirit. So I'm only now -1 willpower, thank goodness. And for my third action, I'm going to spend 2 down to 4 to play Brand of Thugug. Comes in with 6 on it. That's why I couldn't get rid of the Familiar Spirit, because I wanted to play this. Well, we've managed to get rid of Occult Scraps. We'll not get rid of it, but get it out of my hand. That's it for Dexter. Joe Diamond's going to have to do some work here as well. But first action, We're going to spend nothing to do logical reason. I've got 1 clue. We'll heal 2 horror. We're going back up to 5. One, 2. Then we're going to try and get this clue. Second action, we'll just do a normal investigate. Or we'll chuck a mouse mask in and a take the initiative. We've completed 1 action, so that's 2, 3, 7 versus 2. 7 versus 2. We may move an insight from our discard pile to the bottom of the hunch deck. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll take that clue, so we're up to 3. We will grab another working a hunch. That goes in. Oh, that goes into the bottom of my deck, sorry. I'm going to bottom of the deck. Then we're going to Pathfinder to the Merchant District. And we're then going to exhaust field work. My final action to investigate normally. So that's 3, 4, 5. I'm 6 versus 3. Let's make it 9 versus 3. 9 versus 3. -2. We get the clue. We don't get an additional clue, unfortunately. And Merchant District has got... Oh, do I want to stay there? No, I've got 4 clues now, sod it. During your turn, if there are exactly 1 or 2 investigators in your game, move to a connecting location. Joe Diamond is going to move to the Miskatonic University, which will allow Dexter to do that next time. That felt okay. That felt okay. I feel like we've stabilised a little bit. I was a bit worried down here. We've only got 1 guy underneath it though, which is a bit frustrating at the minute. And we're on the 2nd agenda. Okay. That's it for the investigation phase. We go to the enemy phase. Servant of the Flame is going to move to south side. That's it. We go to the upkeep phase. We're going to ready up. We get a Pathfinder and field work back on track. We're ready to guys. We get our actions back. Dexter's going to gain a resource up to 3. he gets Familiar Spirit. Joe Diamond's going to go up to 4. He's going to get Machete. It's all about the fingerprint kit now, though. That's it. We move on to the upkeep phase. Now, I'm going to pause there for just a second because this feels like a 2 coffee scenario. So it'll be literally half a second for you, 5 minutes for me. Right, we have got coffee. And we're at the top of the Mythos phase. So 2 of 8 onto the agenda. What's this got for us? Something nice, hopefully. Dexter's going to draw. Oh, hello. A rogue gangster. Well, we've got no deny existence this time. So he's going to come into play, engaged with Dexter. We're going to lose a resource, so we're down to 2. And then we are going to draw for Joe Diamond. Joe's going to get a whippoorwill. Aloof. Okay. All right. 3 health is annoying. I need to get to +2 damage. Which always means that it takes 2 hits to kill something. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We go to the investigation phase. Who's going first? Who is going first? I think Dexter's turn is quite straightforward. He's following on behind. So first action for Dexter. Well, they're going to attempt to hit the rogue gangster. We're going to do some shriveling because that's gives us +2. We will chuck in the familiar spirit as an additional pip. So we are 5, 6, 7, 8, -1, 7. 7 versus 3. He's got retaliate. Why did I say that? -1. He is not an elite enemy. So we do 2 damage to him. 1, 2. That was my first action. I am going to have to use the shriveling again. Because of the +2. Shriveling. So we're now 5, 6, 7, -1, 6 versus 3. 6 versus 3. -1. We do 2 more damage to him. We kill him. Third action from Dexter is going to be to draw a card, hoping for an asset. We've got shriveling. Okay. And then he's going to do the once per round free trigger. If there are 1 or 2 investigators, he's going to move to the Miskatonic University. Joe Diamond. Joe Diamond, what are you doing? Well, first things first. I think what I'm going to have to try and do is kill the whippoorwill first of all. These things look innocuous, but once they get out, they're -1 to everything. And it's currently in my... Right, so let's work this through. I'm fight 4. Well, first action is to engage it. Second action is to fight it. Second action is to fight it. I would be 4 versus 2. 5 versus 2. 4 versus 2 with the whippoorwill. 4 versus 2. I'm not chucking shriveling in against it. Or do we just get Dexter to kill it next turn? I think we just get Dexter to kill it next turn. It's too risky, 4 versus 2. I've got other stuff to do with Joe. He can take a hit. I need to get on. I need to get moving. But my first action is to pay 4 to pay. Should have revealed that. Okay. Okay. First action is still to play the fingerprint kit for 4. I'll leave that one there. That's my fingerprint kit, and it comes in with 3 supplies on it. Then I'm going to exhaust Pathfinder to move up to the north side. Shroud of 3, 4 clues on it. I will exhaust field work to give me +2 skill value to the next test. So I'll be testing 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. 7 against 3. I'm happy with that. Zero. We pass. We use the fingerprint kit. So we get 2 clues. That was my second action. 2 clues. 1. 2. I'll pay 0 and no action. Fast, working a hunch. -2 cost. Discover a clue at your location. I'll grab that clue there. Why has he got 7 on there? He's only got 5. 1, 2. He's got 1 action left. Do I have another go? Do I have another go? Or do I spend the 4 clues now to flip over? No, I don't. Not when he's got 1 action left and Dexter's all done. That's silly. That's silly. I'm saving the fingerprint kit for here. So I think what I do I draw a card or do I gain a resource? I'm going to gain a resource up to 1. That's it for Joe. That's it for the investigation phase. The enemy phase. The Servant of the Flame is going to continue to move towards Joe. Doesn't really matter which way he goes. He's heading towards Dexter. Whippoorwill is going to continue to hang out there with Dexter. That's it for the enemy phase. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. We ready up. We ready up Pathfinder and Fieldwork. We get our actions back. Dexter's going to gain a resource up to 3. He's going to draw a card, which is Storm of Spirits. Joe Diamond's going to gain a resource up to 2. He's going to draw a card. He's going to get Magnifying Glass. I'm glad I bought the 1 cost now. I'm glad I took the resource. Oh, okay. We go to the Mythos phase. We take an obligatory gulp of coffee. Preparing ourselves for the Mythos phase. We put 3 of 8. 3 of 8 on. Dexter's going to draw a card. He's going to get an aerial. Okay, that's a problem. Oh, the nearest non-elite enemy moves once towards your location. If it engages an investigator, it makes an immediate attack. Well, Servant of the Flame is elite, so he's not moving, and it's got Surge on it as well. I missed that last time. Sorry, I missed Surge. And the Whippoorwill is aloof anyway, so they're not going to do anything, but we're going to get a Surge on it. We're going to get an Arcane Lock onto the Miskatonic University. Of course I do. Of course I do. And then Joe Diamond's going to get a Red Herring. Test. We do control 2 clues, so it's 4. 4. 4 against 4, you say? 4 against 4. No, I'm going to I'm going to take that. 4 against 4. Zero. We pass. Okay. If we can stay one step ahead of the whippoorwill and the servant of the flame. Sorry, we're on to the investigation phase. Now we flip over our aloof guidance. Takes another turn. Gets +1 to each of their skills and may take an additional action. So do we start off with Joe? Let's working this through in my head. It's an action to do that, so it would cost me an action. I'm not doing this, I'm just working it through in my head. I've got 2 actions left. What we could do, or do we flip over? Do we flip it over? 3 of 8. I think we do flip it over. We're at the start of the turn. Yeah, solid. That seems like the better play. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're down to one. Down to 1 clue. 2, 3, 4. We're going to flip it over. We've got Cornelia Ackley, 3 fights, 4 health, 3 to evade, alert. After you fail a skill test against this enemy, it attacks you. After you successfully evade Cornelia, ready her. Oh God. That is not good. That was an action to do that. She becomes engaged with Joe Diamond. Agility. God. I'll be going 3 against 3 with the Grizzly Totem in. She only hits for 1. She only hits for 1. I could try and kill her. So what I could do now is use my next action to do guidance to Dexter. He'd have 4 actions his turn, and he gets +1 to each of his skills. He then comes in for 2 actions, doesn't engage Cornelia, but does 2 hits at her using the brand of Thugug. I think that's what we're going to do. So my Joe's second action. Oh, he's going to take an attack of opportunity now. Or does he actually just try and hit her as well? Yeah, I think that's where we go. Second action. He's going to do guidance onto Dexter. So he's going to get 4 actions and he gets +1 to his skills. Let me try and keep that in my head. But we 2 take an attack of opportunity from Cornelia, who hits me for 1, down to 4. And then my third action is going to be to fight her. And I fight 4. Fight 5, chucking the machete in. 5 versus 3. Five versus 3. Yes. +1. So 6 versus 3. And we can move an insight from our discard pile to our deck. So let's do that first of all. Unsurprisingly, working a hunch is going to go in there on the bottom of the deck. And we do 1 damage to Cornelia. And that is it for Joe. Dexter is going to use 2 actions, but only 1 on here of his 4 to move up to north side. For his second action, he's going to Brand of Cthulhu Cornelia, not engaging her. So let's hope he doesn't miss. So we will chuck in a Storm of Spirits. So we're going to be uh, 5, 6, 7 for Storm of Spirits, 8 for Guidance, 7 for Occult Scraps. 7 against 3. Seven against 3, -3. We pass. We do 2 damage to her. She's on 3 health. My fourth action, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to Brand of Cthulhu her. I hate to do it, but I think I'm going to chuck the Shriveling in as well. What's Joe got? Can Joe do us anything? Oh, Joe's got a mouse mask. Actually, Joe will chuck his mouse mask in. Ooh. Yeah, sod it. Joe's going to chuck his mouse mask in. So again, it's the same. 5, 6, 7 for the mouse mask, -1 for the, so 6, 5, 6, 7, 7 versus 6 versus 3. -1. We kill her. So she doesn't go underneath the axe. She goes off to the victory display. We'll put her there like that. Sorry, let's put her up so she doesn't shine so much. And that's it for Dexter. Enemy phase. The whippoorwill's gonna pop up to be here. Servant of the Flame is going to pop up. He's after Dexter for some reason or other. That's it. The enemy phase. We go to the upkeep phase. We ready up. Didn't exhaust anything down here. Dexter's going to gain a resource up to 4. He's going to draw another brand of Cthulhu. Joe's going to go up to 3 resources and he's going to draw a Vicious Blow. Vicious Blow. I think that's it. We get our actions back. We go to Mythos phase. We put another Doom. 4 of 8. One more. One more, I think. Let's move it up a little bit so we can fit them all in. Four of 8. We're going to draw a card for Dexter. Dexter's going to get place 1 Doom on the nearest enemy with no Doom on it. Well, that's going to be the Whippoorwill. And Joe Diamond's going to get Test Agility 3. If we fail, then each investigator takes 1 damage. Okay, well, look, I don't know why I do that. Leave it there so you can see it. I'm Agility 2. Agility 2 versus 3. 2 versus 3. Come on, +1. We haven't seen you all game. -3. If you fail, place a clue on your location. Could have been worse. Oops, daisy. Still working? Yep. Just hit my webcam. Could have been worse. Investigator phase. We'll turn over this card. Logical reasoning. We've got no clues now, so we can't heal horror. Right, I think we're going to start off with Dexter. We're going to start off with Dexter. First action is going to be to engage the Whippoorwill. Second action is going to be to fight it. Using the brand. So, and we'll also chuck a brand in as well. No, because that's the wrong type of thing. So we are 5 6, back down to 5. 5 versus 3. That's not great. No, 5 versus 2. Oh no, he's no, because he gives us -1. Hang on a sec. 5, 6, 5, 4. 4 versus 2 isn't even worse. The thing is, I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to get stuck. Do I engage this whippoorwill? Let's go back a sec. Or do I just continue to outrun him? Do I start off with Joe? Hmm. I think we're just going to start to keep clear of them. Leaving 2 clues on there doesn't feel great. Depends what's underneath here. First action from Joe. Going to play 1 down to 2. Going to play the magnifying glass to give us +1, and it's fast. Of course it is. It's fast. So no action to do that. Then he's going to use his Pathfinder ability to move to a connecting location. He's going to move to downtown. 4 shroud, 2 clues per investigator. And after we discover 1 or more clues here, we can heal 1 horror as a reaction. We need to remember that. Then we're going to tap field work to get +2 skill value to the next skill test. And we're going to use fingerprint kit to investigate. So we're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 versus 4. 8 versus 4. That's -2. So we still pass. We get 2 clues. Still haven't used an action. Oh, an action to investigate. We've still got 2 actions left. I think we just go for it. Second action. Is that going to be a waste of that's potentially a waste of a fingerprint kit. Because I'm going to be 4, 5, 5 against 4, 6 against 4. 6 against 4 I'm not comfortable with. And I don't want to waste a fingerprint kit. I've got nothing I can chuck in. So I think what I'm going to do is second action, I'm going to gain a resource. Third action, I'm going to pay 3. Bring the Grizzly Totem into play. I think that's what I'm going to do. Dexter's turn. First action, I'm going to spend 3 down to 1 to put a new Shriveling into play. Comes in with 4 charges. I couldn't do yeah, I could have replaced the Azure Flame with a Shriveling, but that's out. It's not a different name. Play an asset with a different title. I'm trying to get rid of this bloody thing. So that's my first action. Second action is going to be to move, to stick with Joe. Third action is going to be to draw a card. Arcane Initiate. Don't want to be playing that. What's it got? It's got a willpower tip. Hip. That's it for Dexter. That is it for Dexter. Okay. Enemy phase. Whippoorwill's going to pop across to there, giving us -1. And Servant of the Flames going to take a slightly different route. Still the same. It's going to no, he can't get to downtown from there, so he's going to have to go up to north side to go across. That's it for the enemy phase. We go to the upkeep phase. We're ready up. We ready up Fieldwork and Pathfinder. We get our actions back. Dexter's going to get a resource to go to 2, and he's going to draw a card, and he's going to get Deny Existence, which we need to remember. We need to remember that. And Joe is going to get a resource up to 1. He's going to draw a card, and he's going to get a Magnifying Glass. And that's it for the upkeep phase. This wasn't used, so it goes back in, and then we shuffle it. We go to the Mythos phase. We are 5 of 8. 5 of 8. We're going to draw a card for Dexter. He's going to get a whippoorwill. Now they're causing a problem. This is where they cause the problem. And Joe is going to get a bat horror. Okay. These are going to get shuffled. Blimey, I think that's the first time I've gone through the encounter deck for a long time. Catweasel cut. Oh. Yeah, we couldn't deny existence, the whippoorwill. We can't deny existence, the whippoorwill. Doesn't do anything to us. Doesn't make us discard cards. It doesn't make us lose resources. It doesn't make us lose actions, take damage or take horror because it's aloof. Okay. We go to the investigation phase. We flip over. We get work and a hunch. We're now at -2 across our stats because of those 2 whippoorwills. If Dexter could take one of them out, that makes a difference. But Servant of the Flame hanging around, he is a bit of a nightmare. He's only 4 fight. Whippoorwills though are a nightmare. Dexter's got to do something about these whippoorwills. So first action from Dexter is to engage the whippoorwill with the doom on it. And we're going to try and fight it. We are going to fight it with shriveling because it gives us the +2, which is effectively going to negate the 2 whippoorwills. So we are 5 versus 2. Because -2, we get +2 from here. We're at 5 versus 2. We will play an Arcane Initiate to make it 6 versus 2. That was my second action, is to fight it. First was to engage it. Second is to fight it. -2. There are 2 elite enemies. So we kill it. We kill that one. Third action. Third action. I've got to stay away from the Servant of Flame. So Dexter's got... No, he can take it. Joe can take it. Dexter's going to move to East Town. 2 shrouds, 2 clues. That was his third action. I just want to check elusive because I think it says attacked. So once they're attacked, whether you do any damage or not, it doesn't make any difference. They run off. Yeah. If a ready enemy with the elusive keyword attacks or is attacked, after the attack resolves, he runs away. So we don't even have to do damage to him. And he hasn't got retaliate. So I think my first action with Joe, we've got to work in a hunch. So it's not an action, it's fast. I'm going to play that and use that to get a clue. We don't take any attacks of opportunity because it's not an action. Then I'm going to attempt to fight the Bat Horror. I'm at -1. So first actual action is to attack the Bat Horror. I'm going to play a Vicious Blow. I realise I've got the wrong one in here. I've got the upgraded version. So I'm pretty sure Vicious Blow normal version's only got 1 pip on it. And it does +1 damage. So apologies. Don't know how that's got in there. I definitely haven't upgraded Vicious Blow. So I'm 4, 5 with this. I will exhaust the Grizzly Totem to give me another instance of one of the skill icons, which is on there. So that's, I'm 6 versus 3. 5 versus 3 because of the Whippoorwill. 5 versus 3. The important thing is the attack. 5 versus 3. -3. And we have to place a clue, which we just got on there. But that does push the that does push the Bat Horror away. And I'm pushing him to here, and he's exhausted. And he's got no retaliate. Then I'm going to use Pathfinder to move to this location. I'm going to exhaust field work for my second action to investigate using the fingerprint kit. So I am 4, 5, 6 for the magnifying glass, 7, 8 for field work. 9 because I'll chuck the other magnifying glass in. So 9 versus 2. 9 versus 2. -2. We get the 2 clues. I should have healed a horror because I discovered a clue here. Working a hunch does say discover a clue, so I should get 1 horror back. So I'm at 6, not 5. And then for my 3rd action, after you discover the last clue from East Town, search your deck for an ally asset and play it, paying its cost. I can't because I haven't got enough. And they're all gone as well, so can't do that. Can't do that. Cat weasel cut. That was my 3rd action, was to move down here to waterfront. Flipping this over. Comes in with 2 clues on it, and it's a shroud of 1. That's it for Joe. We go to the enemy phase. Whippoorwill is going to continue to follow Dexter around. Servant of the Flame is going to continue to follow Dexter around. And he will stay exhausted. We go to the upkeep phase, we're ready up. So Bat Horror is going to ready. Dexter's going to ready. Joe Diamond's going to ready. Going to get our act, or we're going to ready up field work and Pathfinder and Grizzly Totem. We're going to get our actions back. Dexter's going to draw a card and he's going to get Sign Magic. Okay, that sort of works. That does work. That does work. And then we're going to... Do I gain a resource? Gains a resource. 3. Joe Diamond's going to gain a resource up to 2. He's going to draw a card. He's going to get another Grizzly Totem, which is no good to man nor beast. That's it. We go to the Mythos phase. We go to 6 of 8. 6 of 8. And then Dexter's going to draw his encounter card. He gets a red herring. Test intellect 2. Gets +2 difficulty for if you can control 2 or more clues. No, I don't. But I'm only 2 as it is. I'm only 2 it is. 2 as it is. Hang on a second. If you fail, you would take 1 horror and place 1 clue. I'm not going to take any horror because I'm going to deny existence it for 0 cost. Bye-bye red herring. Joe Diamond's going to get a card. He's going to get a rogue gangster. He loses a resource down to 1. We go to the investigation phase. We'll start off with Dexter. Dexter's going to move for his first action down to the waterfront. Second action, whilst the rogue gangster is engaged with Joe Diamond, he is going to shrivel him. So we are 5, 6, 7, 6, 6 versus 3. 6 versus 3. I'm going to play Slime Magic to make it 7 versus 3. Seven versus 3. Auto fail. Auto fail. I think that's just sealed the deal. I think that has just sealed the deal. And I would do 2 damage. 2 damage to Joe. Taking him down to 2. 1. 2. So that was my second action. My first action was to move down. My second action was to try and hit him. Had I have killed him or done damage, we might have had a chance at getting this uncovered before this came round. We've got 2 turns left. We've got 2 turns left. I can't risk it. So for Dexter's third action, he is going to resign. We move across to Joe. For his first action, he's going to resign as well. And we'll take a hit down to 1 on the way out. Push. So we got 2, which was, I've equalled my personal best. I've equalled my personal best. So 2 hours and 47 minutes, and we've equalled. We've equalled. That's the positive. That is a hard. This is a hard scenario. Starts off with 10, but then you know you've lost 3 of those because you're definitely putting a doom on, and you know if you're playing 2 players, you've lost three turns. Getting the clues, spending the clues, and then spending the actions, because the problem is once you hit those guys, if you don't do the parlay, they're elusive. Well, she wasn't actually, she was alert, so she wouldn't be running off. But there's, yeah, it's tricky. It's a tricky scenario. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a well-designed scenario, quite similar to Midnight Masks, as everybody said, layout and uncovering people. But I think there are some differences. I mean, there are definitely some design differences. The whippoorwills are a complete pain. They didn't cause a problem. I mean, pulling in for our first investigation. Probably didn't help. I mean, he didn't really do a lot, but the problem is at that point I'm running away from him. I can't spend the time to stay at a location for any long period of time because he's right behind us. But then, you know, makes the next game. I've got to beat two. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So it says, if no resolution was reached, in brackets, each investigator resigned or was defeated. On the cab ride to Velma's diner, you considered all that you learned. Unfortunately, your search turned up plenty of leads, but few solid results. You can only hope that Dr. Armitage fared better. Reveal the enemy from the people of Arkham encounter that was set aside at the beginning of game. This is the true identity of the Servant of Flame enemy. So who was it? Who was it? It was Bosh. David Renfield. Of course it was. I've always thought David was a bit dodge. So he is the real Servant in the Flame. In your campaign log, record that. Well, I've got a bit of paper, which I'll do that in a sec. Gather each enemy in play and or beneath a location when the scenario ended, and shuffle them together face down along with the Harbinger of Elakos, then draw one of them at random. Let me just read that again. Gather each elite enemy in play and or beneath a location okay. So 1, 2, 3. Those are not considered in play, I take it. Gather it. Just try to work out what it's trying to get me to do. So we know that David is the true Servant of the Flame, a Harbinger. Gather each enemy in play and or beneath a location when the scenario ended and shuffle them together along with a Harbinger. Okay, right, gotcha. I need to read the whole thing. So those 4 are going to get shuffled. Try not to look. And we'll do the top one. And the top one is David Renfield. Bosh. If the enemy drawn is the Harbinger of Elakos, record the investigators discovered the cult's whereabouts. Which we did, okay. If the Servant of the Flame enemy is in the victory display, he isn't. Record that we killed him. Each investigator earns experience equal to victory X value of the cards in the victory display. So we've got 1 up there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 experience. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. We're on to scenario 3. So 4 experience, and we've found the Harbinger. So 4 experience to spend. Let's see what we can get with that. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for scenario 2 of my legacy playthrough of the Brethren of Ash. Really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, comment. We are really close now to 500 members, so anybody subscribing would be really helpful. And I will see you when we take on the Queen of Ash. Dexter and Joe, about even at the minute. About even on gameplay, I think. But that's see how they go. The next one's the biggie. So look forward to it. See ya. Ta-da for now.